Alright, if you're ready to get started, I am too. I made some pink. I like pink behind my mountains. I'm going to start putting some pink on here. Believe it or not, this is my second attempt. I video with, I have an iPhone 13 and I video with it. And when someone calls me, I just noticed that it cuts my phone off, or cuts the videotaping off. And that's what happened. I was almost done with my last painting and someone called me and I went back and looked and it wasn't recording. This is attempt number 2. So we're going to try to get this one in today. We're going to keep trying till we get it. I think that might be far enough down with my pink. Let's take a little phthalo blue. There's some blue up in here. Yeah, I'm running out of brushes. All my brushes are getting dirty. I was doing pretty good until someone called me, and that did it. Cut my recording off. Let's take a little Prussian blue now. So now I'm going to speed paint through this one, hopefully. I've already had the plan anyway, so hopefully we can get through this pretty quick. I hope. Okay, let me get me a cleaner brush and try to blend this. Let me check it. They're all a little dirty. Hope this don't mess my pink up. It's not too dirty. Let's do some crisscross strokes right here. We're going to blend all this up. Start in the lightest color and work up. Just going to blend it together. Wiping my brush off as I'm going. I don't want too much of the blue to get into my pink, if you know what I mean. Take a look. Don't look too bad. I like it light behind my mountains. I think it looks really good like that. I'm gonna have to change this eventually. This is the third painting in a row that looks kind of like this. So let's get our knives. I got 2 of them. Big knife and little knife. Here's the big knife. I think I'm gonna make a couple mountains that are further back. I'm gonna start right here. They don't have to be nothing fancy. Just something. Okay. I don't know if I want 2 or 3. I'll have to think about it. All right, let's go ahead and let's put one more mountain in the distance. We'll put this one kind of right over in here. Just bring it up, bring it down. Don't have to be fancy. We just want something. Let's get us a brush. Set my knife down. I believe this is the one that I used earlier. We're just going to go ahead and pull this out. There's a big mountain going here. It'll cover this area, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. We're just going to blend this out as much as we think we need. All the way probably down into here somewhere. Maybe even further, I don't know. We'll just do whatever we need to do, right or wrong. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one. I do think I want it about down where it is right now. Probably that far at least. This is wet on wet. So this is different. If you have trouble getting the paint to break on your mountains, don't put liquid white on your mountains. I don't a lot of times, but past several mountains I've done, I've used liquid white. Just because I just wanted to, basically, no other reason. Let me put another little knob right here. Just to make it look a little different than that one. Okay, let's do the big mountain. Let's get our knife. Let's go ahead. We will start. When I say big mountain, I mean the mountain that's closer. It don't necessarily have to be a big mountain. Let's bring that thing on up in the sky a little bit. I'm probably going to put a nub right there. You mainly just want to focus on the top of the mountain. That's really all you have to worry about, because you're going to blend this out. This will all be blended nice. Scrape all your excess paint off. So you can see we're going to bring that on through these other mountains. Just make sure you got enough dark paint down. This front one should be dark. Should be plenty of paint right there. Should be. I just want it to be dark. I know it's enough paint. I just want to make sure it's darker than these other two mountains. All right, let's pull that out. Get my brush. And let's begin. Now this mountain here in the front should be a lot bigger. Let me look at it here. I don't want it to look silly. I think it's okay. Maybe I need another nub right here coming out. Maybe, maybe not. This is the time to fix it. Get it the way you want it. Well, let's get ready to put some color on this. I got some white with a little brown in it right here. And for these back mountains, that's what I'm going to use. Let me get a little more white. I want it to be fairly white with brown. Okay, we're going to start back here. I think I'm going to have a tree here, so I don't really know how far to bring. I think that might be good right there. I don't want to bring it over here into the tree area, because then it just makes it harder to put the tree in. But we're going to go ahead and do this. Need a little bit right here. And I am literally barely touching it. Literally. Not exaggerating when I say I'm barely touching it. I really am. Let's go do this one back here. Make sure we get all that right there. This one's going to be a little tougher. I'll have to maneuver my arm a little bit for this one. Let's wipe that off. That one's a little tougher right there. think that'll be okay. I'll bring some, actually let me do a little bit of something here. I'll bring that over a little bit more. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Anyways, let's take this. I'm going to add a little more brown to all of this, because I'll probably need every bit of this. Maybe even a touch more. This is probably too much, but I don't know. If it is, we'll put some white in it. You just have to adjust your colors as needed. I think this is darker than what I had. Should be. Let's start right here. Start right here and start working our way down. I want to move these paper towels. They always get in my way toward the bottom of a painting. I like them being there. Okay, because I got to wipe my knife off. That's why I like them. It's so convenient when they're just laying right there. Let's go ahead and do this. You have to keep wiping your knife off because you're picking up this paint that's underneath. Just barely touch it. It's a pretty good sized mountain right here. I just take little jabbing motions at it. I don't go whoosh. I mean, I could, I guess, but I usually don't do that. I just take little small jabbing motions. That seems to work fairly well. Okay, let's just keep on rolling. Just gonna keep on rolling. Some right here. And we're probably going to bring this one on down like so, down kind of like that. I really don't need it to come down that far, I don't believe. Let's see, I might bring this over, connect it a little bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and make us a shadow collar. I'm going to take this same color that I already was using back there, and I might add a little white to it because I want you to be able to see it at home. Let me go check my camera. Camera's still on. That's a good thing. Let me get a little bit here and test it. Yeah, I think you can see that. I think you can see this okay. Excuse me. It's getting a little pale, isn't it? Or a little dark. I want you to be able to see it. Don't do any good at home if you can't see it. Let me stand back and look. Okay, let me get put a little bit more white in it. So all I'm doing, I'm just adjusting as I'm going along. Yeah, you can see that for sure. You can certainly see this. Yeah, you can see that for sure. Okay, let me take some of this dark color, throw in here, and we'll see if we can use it for the other mountain. That way you know you're not wasting paint. It matches anyway. I may have to get my other knife, a smaller one. Let me take a look. Looks okay. Keep messing around with it till we get it how we want it, won't we? So So far, so good. It's always good. So when you say so far, so good, that means good stuff. Let's see what's going to happen here. Let me make that a little darker right there. I always like to make it a little darker here in the foreground. Simply because it's closer and it needs to be a little darker. Trying to find me a good mix here. Looking at it here and thinking, sorry, it's dangerous sitting when I'm thinking. I'm going to take some of this brown that I was using and kind of skim over some areas, touch up. That's what I call it, touching up. Plus it gives it a little different color because this color here is a little darker than what I originally had. So it'll give it a little different flavor. Give it a little different flavor. Put some of this darker brown here. I'm not sure you can tell at home, but it's a little darker. And let me touch up some of this. I like to cover up these lines a lot of times that I have here, that I create by doing this. See, like that line there, I'll just throw a little bit of the extra brown on it. Now let me get some pure white. Let me skim across the top. See, I was holding that knife so light, it almost fell out of my hand. I do that every time. In my mind, I guess if I'm holding my knife light, that I'll somehow barely touch the painting, which is really not true, but in my mind, I think it's true. Trying to think there's something odd about this right here. Let me take some of that away. I think that might look a little better. Something was strange about that. Now let's go ahead and soften some of this up right through here. Let's see, let me check my brush, make sure nothing crazy is on it. Let's just go ahead and soften some of this up. Yeah, don't hurt to soften it up a little bit. As I said, I'm not sure about where my water line, I know about where it is, but you just got to make sure, just cover yourself. Just go ahead and soften up what you think needs it. And now let's just go ahead and put some water in here across the bottom. Let me get me a brush. It's pretty dirty, I think. I'm going to use some of this mountain color for the bottom area here. I know that I want it dark down here. So we're not going to waste it, we're going to use it. Across the bottom. I'm gonna try to make this as simple as I can today. I'm just gonna put a row of trees across the back. I'm not sure what else just quite yet. Let's take some of this lighter mountain color. I'll probably put some white in. That's almost too dark. And it's going to be somewhere up in here will be our tree line. See, it looks like you get a lot done when you put the water in, don't it? I'm looking at it thinking, man, I got a lot done. Let's throw some pink in it. If you can tell, it's pink. Let's just throw some pink in it. I have it. There's pink in the sky. Let's use it. That may be making too big of marks. This is my granddaughter. It just beat all to pieces. It's going to fall apart on me soon. I'm sure it is. Let's just go ahead. I'm putting reflections in the water as I'm going also. I just want different size trees back here. I want different collared trees and different size. Yeah, we're going to knock two things out at once. We're going to go ahead and put reflections in as we're doing this. I want some red ones in it probably today, just to spruce the painting up a little bit. Some red trees. Put your dark color down first. You gotta have dark to show the light. That's why you always put dark down first. I think I'm gonna bring this around. I think I'm gonna start getting them taller and taller. I think. I believe I might do that. And just hopefully it looks okay. You know, there's only one way to find out, all right? And that's to do it. This is the only way to find out if something looks good. I may take a shop towel here in a minute and try to dry some of these trees before I put my collars on, because I've done it this way before and it can be difficult to get your collars to stick, is what I'm trying to say. Make these trees a little taller. Especially right here. Make that one a little taller. Make this whole area taller if we want. That's probably okay. All right, let's see if we can get some paint to stick on here. I took a shop towel and I kind of dabbed it on here. I'm gonna go ahead and start with some red. I want a couple red trees, and I want to go ahead and just see if it'll work. This is really wet. Let's see. Let's put one right here. I want some color in this painting, and this usually does it. Give me a paper towel. I just want about 3 red trees, and then I'll make the rest of them normal colors. Let's put one right here. Put the reflection in the water. Probably one right here. Like I said, I'm going to try to make this painting pretty simple. This should be, if you're painting at home, this isn't too bad. Now let me clean it. I got to use this same brush. I got to put some green and yellow on the rest of these. I'll set this down. I'll try to hold my palette. It's hard for me to hold my palette because this is real wet. And I got to keep wiping my paper towel, or wiping my brush on my paper towels. It needs to have more yellow in it right there. I just put everything down in your reflections. Don't hurt a thing. This is a pretty basic, simple little painting right here. Except for the mountains. I mean, when you get the mountain part down, this kind of stuff you can certainly do. Now let me get me a bigger brush. All right. Let's take some green, some yellow. Let's form something up here. Oh my goodness. Oops, see me make a boo-boo there. My brush hit some red, a big chunk of it. And now you get to see how you fix it. Just scrape it off. And I can't use that brush, I'll have to get a different brush. Got one left. One brush left. I had my paint too close together. And you can take a shop towel like this one. Just kind of wipe it. I don't necessarily want red right there, do I? Let's see if we can cover that up. Hopefully I don't do that again. Okay. If I ain't careful, I'll do it again because it's sitting right beside this yellow. Oh my goodness. I don't want to do that again. Yeah, we're just kind of pulling out shapes. Just put it down here in your water. Green, yellow. Okay, let's start over here. This could be a little darker if you want it to be, because of the way the sun is coming down. Let me take a little brown, little white. Let's see if I can put a few sticks and whatnot in here. I'm trying to go as quick as I can today since I've messed up my other painting. Just a little something. I mean, nothing much. Just something. Probably can't even see this at home. That's okay. I can see it, and I think it's all right. Let's get ready to do our reflections. Pull our reflections out. Okay, we're going to pull our reflections down. Let's determine where we want our land. I'm going to go ahead and do these green ones, I think, first. I'm wiping it off every time. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm wiping this off after every stroke. Now let's go ahead and do the red. That red is a strong color. And you gotta be careful not to wipe your reflections completely away. Let me stand back and take a look here. What am I doing? This is not my softest brush, that's for sure. I think it's going to work. I mean, I don't really have a choice. Well, as you can see, I have changed some things. I didn't like the way this was looking. So I put a big pine tree here. Put some land right here, a couple trees. I still got to do some work on those. But at the moment, I'm going to start highlighting this pine tree. We're going to start with cad yellow light. And I'm going to start putting in some nice bright colors. Highlighting. Got to get you a paper towel handy. Paper towel in one hand, brush in the other. Got to load your brush pretty good. Just putting in some highlights. This will take a while. This is really wet. I just put this in here. Plus, this is a wet on wet painting, so it makes it even wetter, don't it? Because we know the sun's coming down this way. We just want to catch what we can and do what we can with it. Yeah, I did not like the way this was looking, so it's this part down here that gives me a lot of problems because I try to do things that are different. You don't want to, most people don't want to see the same thing over and over and over. And man, it's hard to come up with this stuff down here sometimes. I mean, you got to really be thinking. So as I was saying, I was looking at it and I thought, man, that just don't look good. I don't want to post something that don't look good, not on purpose. I post things that other people think don't look good sometimes. Can't make everybody happy, can you? No matter how hard we try. But I'm going to highlight this and put some shadows here where these trees are. Just because we're coming to the end, this is about it. This is about all I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to bring this all the way down here. Clear out of the picture, so to speak. I think it probably looks fine right there. Okay, after further review, I've decided to make some changes. Something I don't like. I don't like this tree. I don't really care much for those two, but I definitely don't like this. And I think I'm gonna put some rocks in here. So with the tree, I'm just gonna make it bigger and cover this up because I don't like it. Let's see here. I want to make sure I cover these branches, or most of them. I'm not going to cover them all. So I think I'm going to bring it I want it a kind of gnarly, I guess. So I'll make it a little wiggly. And I may just take it off all the way down off the canvas, I'm not sure. I don't want to make it super big. Pretty big, just not super big, if that makes sense. This painting's actually dry. It's been sitting around for several days, and I'm going to post this next. I looked at it and I thought, whoa, that's ugly. So we don't want nothing like that. We try not to put ugly things on here. You know, if you can make them better, sometimes you got to stand back and look at stuff with a set of fresh eyes. Like the next day, come back and look at it, and then you can see a lot more, believe it or not, what needs to be touched up, what needs to be fixed. And I can definitely see this tree is no good. I didn't like the tree that was here. So hopefully we can get a better tree in here. This is raw umber I'm using. Sometimes I use brown and black, but raw umber is kind of brownish black. That's what it reminds me of anyway. Okay, see these branches sticking out? I can just make them into more, bigger branches that look a little bit better. So let me set this down. Let me find me another brush real quick. I need a smaller brush. I'm going to take this big brush I have. This branch here is pretty big anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and use it on this branch. Just make it a little bigger. As I said, we want this tree to look a little rough. We don't want it looking pretty. So we'll just come back by and work on these branches a little bit. And I'm going to put some rocks in here. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and throw one in right here. I want to cover this bush up. I don't like this bush. There's too many of them. This is still raw umber. I could have switched it to brown. I probably should have, but I didn't, so it's all right. I might put another one or two there. Let me go ahead and keep working. Keep working right here for a minute. Let's see. Let's just bring this one down like so. Switch brushes. Gotta make it a little thinner up in here at the top. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm just fixing what I didn't like. And then I will bring you back when it is finished. I'll be right back. Well, folks, that looks like a wrap. I think it turned out pretty good. It looks a lot better with this bigger tree right there. Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future videos. And thanks for watching.